when helping hurts. I want to share with you a journey that has shaken me as a father, tested me as a human being, and left me searching for hope in unexpected places. Fellow parents, grandparents, and all who want to help. My son is addicted to crack cocaine. For years I told myself I was helping him, giving him money for food, for rent, for emergencies. Yeah, emergencies. In truth, I was enabling his addiction. I was feeding the very demon that was destroying him. Last December, something finally shifted in me. I realized that if I kept supporting his addiction, I was not only losing my son, but I was also losing myself. And so, I stopped. I told him I would not give him money anymore. His response was simple. He cut me off from all contact. All contact with him. As a parent, as any parent can imagine, the silence was unbearable. Weeks passed, months passed, with no word. My only news came after filing a missing persons report with the police. I learned he had recently been released from jail and had a court case scheduled. I was given the names of his lawyer and his probation officer, but neither returned my calls. Even my grief counselor, who said she knew the lawyer, she has not yet got back to me either. And so I sit in the dark. I don't know where my son is. I don't know if he is alive or safe. What I do know is that addiction has stolen not only my son's life, but also the father-son bond that once meant everything. In my search for answers, I began looking into addiction treatments. Sadly, the statistics are discouraging. Most treatments require a level of motivation and self-discipline that many addicts, trapped in the cycles of craving and despair, simply do not have. The success rates are painfully low. Then I stumbled upon something extraordinary, something that gave me, for the first time in years, a flicker of hope. A compound called 18-MC. 18-MC is a derivative of a plant-based medicine once studied for its effects on addiction. What makes it unique is that it appears to block both the carrot and the stick part of drug use. It takes away the euphoric high that keeps addicts chasing their next hit. It also removes the agony of withdrawal that terrifies them into continuing. Imagine that. A treatment that dissolves both chains at once. Animal studies were remarkably promising. Researchers believe it could revolutionize the fight against addiction. Maybe resolve the question of why some people become addicts when exposed to legal drugs while others do not. I believe my son became addicted when exposed to legal painkillers, when healing from a badly broken leg. Yet, about 20 years ago, this research was suddenly dropped. Why? This is the question that keeps me awake at night. Here we have potentially a treatment that could have spared millions of families like mine from heartbreak. One would think pharmaceutical companies would see a gold mine in such a discovery. One would expect governments spending billions in the so-called war on drugs to eagerly fund it. And yet, silence. 20 years now wasted. 20 years of parents burying their children. 20 years of families being torn apart. I don't pretend to have the answers. Maybe the science wasn't as solid as it seemed. Maybe the economics of addiction treatment are less attractive to big business than the economics of incarceration and relapse. Or maybe, and this is the most painful possibility of all, maybe there simply wasn't enough will to truly solve the problem. So where does that leave me? Where does that leave my son? It leaves me here before you on multimedia telling my story. Because if I stay silent, then addiction wins twice. Once in my family, and again in the broader silence that allows this crisis to continue unchecked. My hope is that in sharing this, I plant a seed of awareness that addiction is not about bad choices or bad people. It's about brains rewired by chemistry and systems that profit from the status quo. I still don't know if I will ever see my son again. I still don't know if 18MC or any treatment will one day live up to this promise. But I do know this. I will not stop asking questions. I will not stop hoping. I will not stop speaking out. Fellow parents and all, we often talk about courage. For me, courage right now is not about fighting dragons or climbing mountains. It is about being here, broken and uncertain, yet still daring to believe in the possibility of change. Please do what you can. Please do what you can to rid this addiction problem. You have my most profound gratitude for trying.